University. I'm still on the faculty. I've been teaching for about 10 years, and that's really neat for me because I get to see all these students that I taught and are now out there, and they're young professionals, and they're doing all kinds of great things in the community, working in government, working in nonprofits, and just great leaders in the community. I'm also a commander in the Navy Reserve. I've been in the Navy for 15 years, and I've been mobilized to active duty 3 times, twice to Afghanistan, both of those for a year. The most recent time I was in command of a targeting cell in southwest Afghanistan, embedded with the Marines for a year. And then I actually had to take a leave of absence from the legislature to do that. And then the other time I was mobilized was to respond to the tsunami disaster in Indonesia to provide humanitarian relief, to get the humanitarian relief over there. So those are 3 times I've been mobilized to active duty. I'm also a legislator. I have been honored to represent this community right here, Oxnard, most of Ventura County, in the California State Legislature. And my belief that my responsibility in being elected and being a good legislator was to go to Sacramento and actually get things done. Get things done, notwithstanding the fact that it is a very partisan environment, that my party does not control either house or the corner office of the governor's office or any of the statewide offices. But notwithstanding that, I needed to go up there, develop relationships, work across the aisle, and make sure I got things done to move the needle forward and move my community and state forward on behalf of my constituents. And so I feel very comfortable saying that I think that I've developed a reputation in my 4 years in the legislature of doing that. Working on the water bond with the governor. That's Proposition 1. I was co-author of that. And I think it's a good thing to take a step forward for California's water infrastructure to make sure that 5-10 years from now we don't have the same drought consequences that we have now because we haven't adequately prepared. Our current water system was built for 13 million people. We now have almost 39 million people in the state of California. We've vastly outgrown it. Proposition 2 is a rainy day fund. Forces the state of California to budget responsibly for the first time in our history. So we set it, yay! So we set aside money during the good years so that when during the bad years the economy drops off and the revenues shrink and we have these huge deficits, so we have money to tap into so we can pay for public education, we can pay for infrastructure, we can pay for public safety, those vital services and safety nets that we all rely upon or make as a priority. I also wrote the California manufacturers tax exemption. Now that may sound like a little bit on the boring side, but I'll tell you, we're one of few states that didn't have that, where a company wanted to expand here to make an airplane or manufacture a car. They had to pay sales tax on the machinery that they would use to put a worker behind that machinery to manufacture that airplane or that car. 41 other states didn't have it, and so that's why a lot of jobs were leaving California, and you were building airplanes in other states and automobiles in other states, and anything you can think of that would be manufactured was no longer staying here in California. So I wrote that and worked on the governor with it. And I'll tell you that I think if you ask the folks over at Haas Automation here in Oxnard, that they would share with you it's one of the reasons, the passage of that bill, that they opted not to leave California and that they are staying here in Oxnard and in Ventura County. So time and time again, putting partisanship aside, working on the things that are important to me: job creation, fiscal responsibility, entrepreneurship, opportunity. And I'm going to take that same spirit of getting things done, working across the aisle and getting things done, and I'm going to take that to Washington, D.C., where they need it more than anywhere else on the planet. They need it because Washington, D.C. is broken. You know, both sides are rolling hand grenades at each other every day, and they're not moving the needle forward on the issues that are important not only to Ventura County, but to this state and this nation. Issues like really rebounding with the economy. The economy is starting to come back, but really hasn't fully come back like we were promised. We need to focus on job creation. The second thing is we need to act immediately on immigration reform. We've ignored it since the 80s. It's an issue that's not going to go away, and it needs to be bipartisan, thoughtful response to that. We also need to address the failure of the Veterans Administration, especially health care for our veterans. Veterans are dying waiting for the health care that they have earned and they deserve after going and serving downrange, wearing the uniform of a country and coming back and finding that the VA health system doesn't meet their needs. It takes 1.5 years to have claims processed, and sometimes takes months and months to see a specialist. People dying before actually receiving the care that they deserve. Those are just some of the issues nationally. Some of the issues locally is that 2017, the Department of Defense has called for a BRAC round. And that means in 2017, Navy Base Ventura County will be considered for closure. And if you look at other places, and it's been considered for closure 10 years ago in 2005, and 10 years before that in 1995. So about every 10 years it ends up on the list, and we've done reasonably well in keeping the base from being closed. Last time we were on the BRAC list, the base was consolidated, but not closed. But I'll tell you, other communities out there that have military facilities are already organized, they're already united, they already have resources, and they're already prepared to make a case, educate and advocate on behalf of their military bases. Ultimately, they will not feel sad if it's our base that gets closed as a result. So this community needs a champion to stand up and unite everyone around defending the Navy base. And that's incredibly important for a community like ours, where our economy has grown up around the military base since World War II. So if you've seen other areas in California where a military base was pulled out in the middle of almost overnight, like Long Beach or Riverside or Alameda or Mare Island, the result is incredible blight. Joblessness goes up, home values go down. It's not something we want to have here. It would be a hit for our veterans, it would be a hit for our national security, and it would be a hit for our economy. That's my natural soundtrack.
Live television.
It's usually the Battle Hymn of the Republic, which is a little more patriotic. But I'll go with that.
It's a relaxed day.
I'll go with that. Yeah. So we need somebody who can prevent that from organizing the community to prevent the closure of the base. That means somebody with a history, a record of reaching across the aisle and bringing Democrats and Republicans together, business and labor, East County, West County, military, non-military. Myself as a legislator, as a naval officer, I feel like and as a member of the 2005 local committee to prevent the Navy base from being closed. I served on that with Tony and a lot of other community leaders, and indeed we protected the Navy base, and it was saved from closure. We can't take for granted it'll be off the list, or that it won't get closed. We need to unite. We need to organize now, not tomorrow, not 2 weeks from now, but now. So also agriculture. We love agriculture. It's our number 2 employer next to the Navy. Agriculture is our number 2 employer in this district. And we love not only its employment, not only its importance to our economy, but the beautiful open spaces that we have here in Ventura County that are the result of our agriculture. And so if we want to stay that way and not look like Los Angeles, we need to make sure that our agriculture has the water they need, has the resources they need, and has the support they need in Sacramento, Washington, D.C., so we can keep our agricultural economy vibrant, we can keep our open spaces, and we can keep that environmental protection out there. I've been honored to do other things too. I worked to get the governor to approve $3 million in emergency funds so we could help the city of Port Hueneme finish the boulder project that allowed the city to protect against the further erosion of the entire beach out into the ocean. It was taking with it public facilities, the sidewalk. It was threatening the street and the condominiums right across Surfside Drive there. But I got the governor's attention. Members of the city council, including Ellis Green, came up, and we directly lobbied him, and the governor worked with me. We got a bill. We got $3 million. We got the boulder project finished just in the nick of time, because now the Army Corps of Engineers is finally coming back to move the sand that they're supposed to move 2 years ago from the entrance to the channel over to Hueneme Beach. So those are the kind of things that you can't do unless you have the experience and some leadership skills. You're just not going to be able to get the governor to help you and be sympathetic to your problem in your district when there's so many problems throughout the state. You're not going to be able to get the governor to call you on your cell phone, and I've got his cell phone number in here, along with Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, and get them to call you to say, we need your help with the water bond, or we need your help with rainy day fund, or we need you to help us get votes for some important things. It's that kind of reputation of getting things done in Sacramento, I'm going to do in Washington, D.C. This is a interesting race. There's been a lot of negativity on the other side, a lot of attack ads, and I'm sorry that it's devolved into that. But I'm running an honorable campaign, optimistic and positive about my experience in the courtroom, in the classroom, in the combat zone, in the Capitol, and what my vision is for going back to Washington, D.C. I can win on my experience and my ideas. I don't have to go negative. I won't go negative, and I'm going to win that way. And that's the way that all politicians should be forced to run their campaigns. Unfortunately, my opponent has started a month and a half ago, earlier than any incumbent in the entire United States of America. Started early with attack ads, trying to distract voters from my record in the courtroom, in the classroom, in the combat zone, in the Capitol, saying that I was a lobbyist, which is Ventura County Star said it's not true, and it's just a distraction, and all kinds of other things that frankly are distortions of the truth. So please know that this is a very word-of-mouth community, and more so than any other place in California, this Ventura County is an area where neighbors telling neighbors, family telling family, communities talking to communities, groups talking to groups, that actually helps move voters in a significant way. And these attack ads don't work. In fact, she spent $1.6 million in the last month and a half on attack ads, and my percentage points in the poll went up a half a point. So it doesn't work, but what does work is word of mouth, strong support, community support, neighbors, neighbors, family, family. So please help us get the word out. If I have the honor to earn your support, if I have the honor to earn your vote, I will work hard. I'll be accessible. You will have my cell phone number. You can call me anytime, like I give out my number every day. You'll track me down, and I will work very hard, and I will get things done like I have in Sacramento, and I'll make you proud. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's an honor.